Meanwhile, as Representative Nunes is preparing to take legal action against the fake news media, Representative Adam Schiff is coming under scrutiny for his own ties to Ukraine. One America's Pearson Sharp has more.
In the media circus surrounding impeachment, Democrats are eager to attack President Trump over his alleged ties to Ukraine, despite not being able to provide a shred of evidence of any wrongdoing. The lead attack dog in the Democrats' lineup is California Representative Adam Schiff, a radical left-winger who's been repeatedly caught telling flat-out lies, such as making up what President Trump said in his phone call with the president of Ukraine.
So he made it up. He went up to a microphone and in front of the American people and in Congress, he went out and he gave a whole presentation of words that the President of the United States never said. It has to be a criminal act. It has to be. And he should resign. And some people even say it was treason.
So what could Schiff be trying to divert attention away from regarding Ukraine? For starters, his connection to the Ukrainian industrialist and arms dealer Igor Pasternak. The CEO of Worldwide Aeros Corp, Pasternak makes weapons and airships for both the United States and Ukraine. And Schiff's ties to the Soviet-born arms dealer go back at least 6 years, to before the conflict in Ukraine even began. Back then, Adam Schiff had rarely mentioned Ukraine, but after July 18, 2013, he couldn't stop talking about it. Perhaps that's because that's the year that Igor Pasternak invited Adam Schiff over to his mansion in Washington, D.C. for a fundraiser, where guests were charged up to $2,500 for attending. All checks were made to be payable to Adam Schiff for Congress. After that, Schiff made numerous references to the country on television and in speeches, even telling Wolf Blitzer on CNN that he thought Ukraine was long overdue for more weapons from the U.S. And Schiff's lobbying for Pasternak paid off, securing his company a $60 million contract from the Pentagon for one of its projects. But that's not all, as new evidence appears to show Schiff has received donations from 2 U.S. corporations tied to the $7.4 billion corruption scandal involving Ukrainian gas giant Burisma. A report from Gateway Pundit reveals Adam Schiff has received numerous donations from both BlackRock and Franklin Templeton Investments, both of which are now part of a criminal investigation for laundering money through Burisma. Considering his close ties to a Ukrainian arms dealer and his funding from businesses involved in a corruption scandal, it seems clear why Schiff would not only push his anti-Russian narrative, but also wouldn't want anyone investigating Burisma. But Adam Schiff isn't the only Democrat with a contradictory history involving Ukraine. Dr. Fiona Hill, who testified before the impeachment inquiry on Thursday, claimed she was worried that holding back aid to Ukraine would threaten its national security. Hill is a foreign affairs specialist and formerly served on the National Security Council and explained Ukraine couldn't defend itself against Russia without weapons from the U.S. But that's a complete 180 from her position back in 2015 when she argued giving any weapons to Ukraine was actually a big mistake. In an article for the Washington Post, she insisted that giving Ukraine military aid would, quote, push Putin into a regional war and could even cost the U.S. our allies in Europe. Meanwhile, Democrats seem content to ignore that President Trump actually delivered all of the aid that was promised to Ukraine before, during, and after his phone call with President Zelensky, who has repeatedly said there was nothing wrong with the call. And all of this without Ukraine doing anything Trump was allegedly demanding. Not only that, but President Trump's support to Ukraine, including sending advanced Javelin anti-tank missiles, has been far greater than Obama's, who never provided any weapons and who, Fiona Hill testified, was actually afraid of upsetting Vladimir Putin by arming the Ukrainians. Despite this hypocrisy and the glaring holes in their investigation, as well as Schiff's obvious ties to corrupt Ukrainian corporations, Democrats seem determined to plow ahead at all costs, ignoring that President Trump has done far more to protect Ukraine than Obama ever did. For One American News, I'm Pearson Sharp.